Okay, good morning. We are Bay Innovation, and today we will be presenting our IoT solution, UPark, a parking app solution and a smarter way to park. My name is Patricia Acevedo, majoring in business analytics and information systems. Here are my teammates, and I will pass it to Maxim Kim.
Hi, my name is Maxim Kim. I'm a senior here at USF, majoring in finance. JJ.
Hi, my name is Junaid Jahangir, but I also go by JJ. I'm currently a junior double majoring in finance and accounting. Trevor?
Hi, my name is Trevor Bridgewater. I'm a senior student at USF studying business analytics and information systems.
So parking has been an issue in college campuses throughout the nation. Let's hear from a college student himself on TikTok.
Easily the most annoying thing about college aren't the classes, aren't the professors, not even the 8 a.m. classes. It's the parking. Like they have 10,000 spots for 50,000 students. The math doesn't add up here. Half the time, I don't even consider going to class because I'm gonna spend a minimum of 30 minutes trying to find a parking spot, usually end up parking somewhere where I'm not even allowed to park, end up being late to class just to get back to my car to a $30 parking ticket.
What you heard just now, although being on TikTok, is not an exaggeration. On large campuses throughout the nation, there is a huge disparity in the number of available parking spaces versus the number of students being accommodated. Let's look at a very relevant example. USF issues approximately 100,000 parking passes to accommodate 70,000 students and staff, yet it only has 20,000 available parking spaces. Due to the high frequency of traffic movement, finding a vacant parking spot on campus has become a matter of great difficulty for students. According to a survey we conducted on USF students, on average, it takes them 25 to 30 minutes to find a vacant spot. 70% of the survey students stated this process makes them late for class, and an overwhelming 90% stated that they wanted an app that provided them live data on available parking spots. So, to accommodate this demand, the Bay Innovation team has come up with the following IoT solution. We will be replacing the traditional parking pass stickers with RFID tags, which will be attached to the front mirror of the vehicle. Much like SunPass, these RFID tags will contain data on the users. The second part includes RFID and vehicle detecting sensors placed on the entrance and exit of the parking garages and lots. These sensors detectors will keep track of vehicles entering and exiting the lot and calculate the number of available parking spots, which will then be sent to a cloud storage using Wi-Fi network. Finally, through cloud computing and processing, this data will finally be transferred to the UPark phone application, and our end users, which will be university students and administrative people, will be able to track live data on parking availability throughout the campus. Next slide.
The UPark application concentrates on helping the end user to have a better experience in college parking lots. Our application facilitates the location of empty parking spaces. It gives the user the option to set up personalized notifications, and students will have the convenience to renew parking permits through our application. UPark is a user-friendly application, easy to set up and easy to use. The UPark interface will require the user to create an account. There are two types of accounts, student or school staff, and the visitor account. Once the account is set up, the next step is quite simple. The welcome screen will come up, the user will type the school name. At that point, the application will process the user input and populates the campus map. UPark's map visualization presents live updates based on the sensor reader's activity. The parking lots are color-coded, showing the available empty spaces. And it also provides the empty parking space count per parking lot. UPark gives the option to the user to add favorite parking lots, reset permit renewal reminders, check parking lot trends, and receive important safety notifications related to extreme weather or shooting events. As you can see, UPark not only facilitates and improves the parking experience, it can also represent a peace of mind to the end user. Next, Trevor will talk about the market analysis.
Evidently, there's high demand for a parking solution at USF. Moreover, most large university campuses, students need a solution. UPark's minimum viable product strategy allows the system to be improved as users utilize the app. A strategy that prioritizes users' needs provides an integrative and user-friendly experience. University campuses such as USF are an ideal target as they offer a large population to collect data from and can cover sensor expenses. Generation Z now holds the majority of the college demographic. Being the most advanced technology users, Generation Z produces a significant amount of data that UPark can study, analyze, research, and exchange in numerous ways. Next, we have SWOT analysis. Unlike other parking apps, Park Mobile, for example, UPark gives live parking availability within the app rather than supplying reservations. UPark provides an innovative IoT solution that offers new parking infrastructure and may attract early investors. This can provide additional capital or funding for future enhancements, improves our market entrance with an increased reputation, and grants a technological advantage that puts our system ahead of other competitors. UPark also has environmental benefits that help satisfy corporate social responsibility efforts and further improve our reputation as we enter the market. We are reducing vehicle activity, hence improving sustainability and traffic flow on campus. We have many references to the hardware used, however, fewer sources that directly relate to the process we've planned. Unexpected errors and consistent maintenance will be inevitable. As a result, specialists in sensor technology and data administration will be utilized. UPark's system will offer a friendly user experience and will be consistently updated for bug fixes and improvements. The opportunity to collect data is one of the most valuable and popular business processes today. UPark has the opportunity to satisfy campus' demand for a parking solution, provide added security that improves campus life, and reduce parking infrastructure costs to the university. We can track student and staff parking and location data. Popular student car brands and frequency of campus visits are a few examples of data that can be utilized by UPark. This data holds immeasurable potential for statistics, targeted marketing, and analysis. UPark can even study users' location data to make predictions on lifestyle, eating, and shopping habits. Our MVP strategy allows UPark to adjust to industry norms and offer additional benefits to users as it advances. This way, we can test the system's basic functionality in the market before full implementation and keep maintenance costs low. This also welcomes integration with new lots such as congested parking networks and theme parks. Drivers may even be offered personalized parking broadcasts, forecast estimations, and discounts. UPark is a project that thrives on machine learning and evolution. In a market that is so volatile, UPark may be forced to adapt to industry changes, if necessary to maintain long-term growth, of course. We are also dealing with a large amount of data. Finding efficient data security and cloud storage providers will be essential, as data leaks, cyber attacks, and storage errors should be minimized at all costs. Extensive research in cloud storage and cybersecurity will be done to ensure that an efficient data security method or specialist is utilized. And now Maxim Kim with the financial overview.
Maxime, make sure you're
So for our fixed cost, what our product is going to cost. At the launch of our business, we'll have one-time fixed cost for software and app development. Based on the market prices for the similar apps, it will cost us 50,000 for app and 70 for the software. Our marketing budget will be 50,000. We will launch a marketing campaign with the conjunction of the university parking department, because they are also interested in providing a smarter parking system for their students. We will also promote it in social medias to other students to make them requesting our services from their universities. Our payroll will be just 52,000. We will have a outsourced accountant, outsourced lawyer, and a part-time manager. The total fixed cost will be 229,000. Let's go to the variable cost. We will use the equipment of Banner Engineering. This is American manufacturer that specializes on sensors. For each exit or entrance, we will spend $917.50 on sensors, computers that will process the data, and installation. Next, JJ will tell about MVP and campus cost.
Thank you, Maxim. With the historic trend of parking problem paired with the largest incoming fall class in its history, USF seems to be an ideal target for our go-to market. Based on our survey conducted on USF students, we have found statistical consistency in support of our solution. What's also concerning is that 87% of the students stated that in case of a security threat, they didn't know the emergency route out of the campus. This is a concern that UPark can easily mitigate. Next slide, please. So instead of large-scale implementation from the get-go, we will be using a minimal viable product approach to initiate our service. By strategically placing the sensors to cover the busiest lots in garages on campus first, we will be able to provide a proof of concept to the university with low capital risk. At this point for MVP, we will need 42 sensors, which will accumulate a cost of $38,000, a little bit over that. The goal is from MVP to incrementally expand throughout the campus, at which point we'll have to cover 232 sensors at the cost of $212,860.
Okay, so this is our cost-based pricing model. I took variable cost and added fixed cost divided by 7, the number of campuses that we plan for 3 years. So the cost for one campus is slightly more than $245,000. For desired revenue, I took the data of SP Plus Corporation. This is the parking management company. So desired revenue is 119% or about $292,000. So how are we going to earn it? First of all, universities are going to pay the variable cost for the installation and equipment. It's about $213,000. Then we will have following operating revenue sources. We'll have an annual contract with USF to provide and analyze car traffic data. It will allow them to better manage their parking facilities and infrastructure. This will make us approximately $37,000. We're also going to earn $12,000 from in-app advertisement. And we will have an ads-free premium model for $5, and it's going to make us about $30,000 a year. And in total, our revenue will be $292,000. So let's go to the next slide. So here you can see we will launch our minimal viable product in June 2021. And by the end of 2021, we plan to expand on whole USF Tampa campus. And by the year 3, we will grow to 7 Florida campuses with a big population, such as UCF or FSU. So our sales, first year is going to be the most unprofitable because we will have to spend significantly on app and software. However, in the year 2, we will grow to 3 campuses and our profit margin will go to 0.19. And in the year 3, we plan to break even and start making our profit. The profit margin for year 3 will grow to 0.24. So as we grow, fixed costs for app and software will be less significant and our profit margin will go up.
With 1/3 of America vaccinated and business slowly transitioning to in-person, specifically college campuses, our solution is both perfectly timed and relevant. By utilizing the existing technology on market and pairing it with an innovative idea, we are providing a sustainable solution to a persistent problem. We hope you're just as excited as we are about our idea. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bay Innovation, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I moved my notes, sorry. Thank you very much for your presentation. The judges now have 5 minutes to do their evaluation. So if you want to sit and do that. And the second team, techies, you have 5 minutes to, if you want to unshare. Oh, wait a minute.
Q&A.
Q&A. So did I
Yep.
just tell you yesterday in our session that we have a script and we don't always follow it. So my apologies. Let's do question and answer. with the judges, and let's start with Claire and then go to Sable, and then we'll go to Tanya and down the list.
All right. Really well done presentation, guys. I can tell that you really practiced this, but you still came across genuine and not too scripted. And I particularly liked the use of mock-ups to help us get an understanding of the concept. That was good good planning for the presentation for sure. I love your video backgrounds too, guys. Good creative work there. Definitely, this is a worthy business problem to solve. I commuted to college, some years ago. It was a long time ago, but it was a problem then. So I think this is definitely a worthy business problem. And from my experience on the USF campus, that's a great place to start. Two quick just kind of thoughts on the concept. Your one of your opportunities or maybe a marketing strategy is to really get in front of the admissions folks at the schools and have that be maybe part of their pitch to prospective students. And then I just thought maybe one other revenue strategy, since this is something that really may save someone's bacon, so to speak, in the fact of, hey, wow, I'm so glad I have this information. You might consider having the app have the ability to collect a tip from the user. So if they have a particularly urgent situation and the application just kind of saved them, they might throw a buck or two, to the company just to as a thank you. So anyway, I've probably taken more time than I should. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Sable?
Well, that was a cool concept there, thinking outside of the box. Claire giving a tip through the app. I have not heard of that before. That was pretty ingenious. And I too went to USF 25 years ago, and parking was horrendous. Same problems, and I can't believe it hasn't been addressed. Great university, crap parking situation. So yeah, I agree. That's it's a common problem across universities, and that's something that would attract students if they've got this type of technology. That's a benefit. So I think a university should seriously look at something like this. Love the concept. So especially having, I think so many people in every generation have personally felt the pain. Love the presentation. I give presentations for a living. I know how hard it is to put together a very visually attractive and well thought out, well planned presentation. I think you guys knocked it out of the park on presentation. So great job. The business plan was fantastic. The one thing I didn't see when I went through the financials on the business plan was really around labor force. I saw some, app dev, but there's a lot more labor force than app dev and a cloud subscription. So it was just I think a little refinement needs to go back over on the financials. But other than that, I think you guys did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Tanya, then David, and
Right.
then Michelle.
I agree. Fantastic presentation. I always love it when you can tell a story that's relatable. And I think every one of us has felt that pain of parking at any university before. So, and it goes back many, many more years than you did, even Claire. So yes. So I love that part of it. Great presentation. I would note, as Sable noted, I would revisit my financials. You have $1,000 for insurance. There are 14 different insurances just for cyber and data right now. So that has really, because of cyber theft and all the security issues around that has really taken off. And it started off with 1 and then 2, and now I'm looking at 14 different policies just for my small business as a nonprofit. So keep that in mind. That number is way underestimated for you. So there are a lot of other things in the financials I would agree with Sable on. I would also look at how much the universities are making currently at parking. What are they bringing in? What does this add value to them? And I would get them to pay for this almost per student instead of passing it on to the students as part of their fees. I would just look at a different revenue model. I'm not saying this one won't work. It definitely would, because you could use it for, have both. You could definitely use it for someone coming from the outside parking in, but when I have to pay a meter, or if I have to pay another system through the university when I visit, it's a substantial amount of revenue they're getting in. And it would also be good data source for them to realize, there's certain timeframes that they can then maybe look at, hey, maybe we need to build a parking garage on this lot versus, adding another one somewhere else. So it would also give them a lot of data you can sell back to them. So there's a lot of different revenue streams you could attach to it. I always look at any business, there should be 5 different revenue streams and to support it, but great job.
I read through the plans last night, and I was really impressed with your plan, first of all. And then I think you guys did a great job of presenting today. The one thing that I've noticed with entrepreneurs, and especially in the technology area, is there's always this sort of steady growth models, which I think in today's society, if you do 1 or 2 campuses and this thing works, your biggest problem isn't having 9 in 3 years. It's that you may have 10 schools in short order wanting to get on this rapidly. So I always think that we fail to think bigger, larger, quicker, especially with technology type businesses like this. So speaking to that, the question is, how would you handle that? So you get your USF, you get them going, and then you become a rage, and then so all of a sudden somebody does an article about you in the Wall Street Journal, and then every college in the country is interested. How are you going to handle that from a monetary and growth perspective?
So that's it's a good question. I guess that's one of our limitations in the sense that we would need more capital to expand. As long as we have capital, we can expand. At this point, our major concern was we wouldn't get capital. That's why we tried to minimize and outsource and just make all the positions part-time. But in order to expand, I think the beauty of this part is the app development and the software is one time. Aside from that, the only addition that will be made to the app, depending on the campus change, is the map, which the university does provide and it already has. So we just need to incorporate that. But aside from that, the biggest roadblock is going to be incorporating the sensors, because they really need to be strategically placed. We can't just put them one here, one there. Sometimes one sensor strategically placed covers 3 or 4 entrances. So those are things that we need to consider. But again, capital and manpower would be essential to expand quicker.
Yeah. Thank you.
Matt, do you want to go next?
Absolutely. So I think, first of all, you guys did a fantastic job at presenting this and really you guys hit it on the head, I believe, on finding a real world problem and trying to solve it. We've all experienced what you're referring to. And as I think about this product over, a longer period of time, I read through the materials as David did. And of course, one of my concerns was around scalability and being able to scale that solution. The good news that I saw was really from an inventory perspective. I mean, coming from tech data where inventory is our world and distribution, you don't have that challenge necessarily. I mean, the stickers, you can mass produce them and assign them, which is great. But you do have the installation of these sensors, which I think is something that you have to consider. As I think about the financial plan, I had the same concerns that Tanya and Sable raised out. One question I wrote down last night was, what do you envision the sales and back office team to scale to during the first year? Because I didn't even see a sales and back office team necessarily. I mean, I saw accounting, I saw some legal support, but who's going door to door in the universities to sell this? So something definitely to think through as you think about the, not just the scalability, but scalability coupled with the financial plan of having the right resources to be able to support this endeavor. One question I did have, though, that I did want to ask is, do you see any difference, or did you look at any difference in statistics between public and private universities as it relates to this problem?
No, we didn't divide those. We didn't look into those two things. What we primarily looked for was, does it provide a common parking model, because if it was reservation based, our model would not work. And B, does it have a huge disparity in the number of parking spaces versus the students being accommodated? And I just also wanted to quickly touch on the fact of, going to different universities. That's why we are trying to do the MVP. Our goal was to install the MVP in universities free of cost. So we will bear the cost of incorporating the MVP in the busiest lots and only market it to the students that are going to classes for that semester around that area and provide the app to them. So that way we can develop a proof of concept utilizing MVP. And if we can show that to the university, then they would be willing to provide a large scale investment.
So, okay, I did read it correctly in the pre-read. You guys are looking to the university to pay for the solution, not the students, right? Because I think that, Tanya
Yes.
raised that point, and that's a huge differentiation. I agree. I think you need the university to pay for this and they can market it as a solution. I mean, having a student who's contemplating whether or not to go to class simply because of his ability to find parking is something that the university should want to solve, I would hope. And we have solutions today that are similar to this, right? Where you think about at Tampa International Airport, you can see when you pull up there how many spots are on each level. But what it doesn't solve is before I even get there, how many spots are available. And that's what I love about this solution that you guys have prepared and created here, is that I don't have to drive there to figure out if there's a spot. I can know it in advance. So look, I appreciate the time and the effort that you guys put into this, and happy to help expand upon the financial lens and other cost considerations you might need to consider.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Good morning, everyone. And to echo what's been said before, this is an outstanding presentation, an exceptionally well done business plan. I particularly liked your market analysis and your SWOT analysis. I mean, the detail that went into this and all of the things that you considered with your goals and objectives were very well executed. So congratulations on a job really well done on that. I had some of the questions that were already asked and answered. So the one remaining one that I had concerns the monetization plan. So in your assumption, you expect to provide significant data for local businesses. Tell me a little bit more about how you intend to sell this data to local businesses and why that would be helpful to your goals. And secondly, how would you address data privacy concerns as they come up? There are a lot of, there could be a groundswell of activity in terms of giving consumers more privacy rights to their data. So how would you react to that?
Maxime, you can take it if you want, but if you want me to take it, I can also do that. It's up to you.
Yeah. So our revenue plan, mostly was oriented to campuses, because campuses are going to pay for our equipment and installation. So it's the majority of all the cost. And we were thinking about selling data, but this is as an additional resource of revenue. So we were just planning about this, but the data that we're trying to sell is like traffic data and the location data. And so it's also targeted. So this is like primarily like students from USF, and the local like businesses, for example, such as students apartments and others, then can see this and they get like a targeted audience, and they can use this information for their marketing purposes.
We were also looking into location data, and that's one of the limitations we've had. None of us really had very much expertise into how to monetize the data. However, we did find out that by tracking location data and tracking where the students where they're coming from, we can track the local businesses that they pass by every day and then provide them with targeted marketing for those businesses.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, judges and students. Well done. And so we'll end this presentation and end the recording, and then we will ask the judges now to take your 5 minutes and